Welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, author of On This Day in Tudor History. Now, in the last edition of Teasel's Tudor Trivia, I talked, with the help of Teasel the dog, about Epiphany Eve and how it's celebrated where I live in Spain, and how our present-day Roscon de Reyes, the cake that we have at this time of year, is similar to the Twelfth Night cake, a treat enjoyed by the Tudors. Now, you might not know or understand why I am wearing a Christmas jumper today, why I've got a crown on my head, and why I've got a little king in my hand. Well, that's because we enjoyed our Roscon de Reyes, and this is what I got in my slice. I got the king in my slice. So that means I got crowned King of Epiphany. Yay. And I'm going to have good luck all this year. So there you go, I'm the Epiphany King. Now, I also mentioned in Teasel's Tudor Trivia about how Twelfth Night or Epiphany was celebrated with feasting, games and entertainment. That was in the Tudor court. Normal people would have some feasting and some games and that, but not quite on the same level as the Tudor court. And I thought I'd share with you some examples of the entertainment. In 1494, which was in the reign of King Henry VII, Epiphany, the 6th of January, was celebrated. Oh, I've lost my crown, I'm no longer king. What a shame. Epiphany was celebrated at Westminster Hall with what was described as a great banquet, where there was a play with a pageant of St. George with a castle, and also 12 lords, knights and esquires, with 12 disguised which did dance. In 1512, so fast forwarding to King Henry VIII's reign, something very exciting happened at court on Epiphany, an entertainment that chronicler Edward Hall described as a thing not seen afore in England. It was a masque, and here is Edward Hall's account. On the day of the Epiphany, at night, the king with 11 others were disguised after the manner of Italy, called a masque, a thing not seen afore in England. They were apparelled in garments long and broad, wrought all with gold, with visors and caps of gold. And after the banquet done, these maskers came in, with 6 gentlemen disguised in silk, bearing staff torches, and desired the ladies to dance. Some were content, and some that knew the fashion of it refused, because it was not a thing commonly seen. And after they danced, I think a certain dog might have got my crown now. She's obviously wanting to be king. And after they danced and commoned together, as the fashion of the masque is, they took their leave and departed, and so did the Queen and all the ladies. And fast forward again, this time to Twelfth Night 1552, in the reign of King Edward VI, a tournay was held during the day, and that evening, following a play performed by the king's players, there was a contest or feat of arms between youth and riches, with them arguing over which of them was better. The men who were in these two teams were described as fighting 2 to 2 at barriers in the hall. After that, according to a contemporary account, then came in 2 apparelled like Almains, Germans, the Earl of Ormond and Jacques Grenado, and the 2 came in like friars, but the Almains would not suffer them to pass till they had fought. The friars were Mr. Drury and Thomas Cobham. This mock combat was followed by a masque of men and a masque of women, and then a banquet of 120 dishes. Yum. In 1553, in the reign of Queen Mary I, Twelfth Night was celebrated with the triumph of Cupid, Venus and Mars, which was a play devised by Sir George Howard. Venus entered in a triumphal chariot accompanied by a masque of ladies, followed by the marshal and his band. Venus rescued Cupid from the marshal with some kind of mock combat being performed, and at some point Mars also made his triumphal entry. These lavish celebrations, and wouldn't you love to go back to them as a fly on the wall, brought the 12 days of Christmas to an end. Ronald Hutton, in his book The Stations of the Sun, explains how it was traditional by the Tudor period for monarchs to make offerings at Epiphany, just like the wise men did to the Christ child. Hutton writes of how Henry VII made offerings of gold, frankincense and myrrh, and that King James IV of Scotland gave 3 gold crowns. And I love that this tradition is continued today. The British Monarchy website states that a service of Holy Communion is celebrated on the 6th of January, Epiphany, each year in the Chapel Royal of St James's Palace, when an offering of gold, frankincense and myrrh is made on behalf of the Queen. How wonderful that this is still going. So happy Epiphany, happy King's Day. If you're celebrating today, I hope you have fun. And if it's a normal day for you, well, I hope you manage to get some feasting or celebrations into it somehow. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live, which is on a daily basis. And you can, of course, give me a like and leave a comment. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.